Palestine is blessed to be the birthplace of numerous prophets of Allah. It is only because of Bayt al-Maqdis, Jerusalem, and al-Masjid al-Aqsa, Muslims living all over the world love Palestine. Due to the hypocrisy of some anti-Islamic elements, the establishment of a free Zionist and extorter Count, Palestine, on the 14th of May 1948, no sooner had Israel's establishment was announced than some powerful countries recognized it and provided it political strength. Not to speak of other countries, even some Muslim countries have recognized it. It is very surprising that the UNO had recommended for 54% law. Al-Quds, the blessed city, Jerusalem, which is actually Al-Quds or Bayt al-Maqdis as it is called in Arabic language, is one of the oldest cities in the world. It is an important and integral part of Palestine. It was called Elia before the arrival of Islam. The Jebusites are the first to establish, including East Bayt al-Maqdis. The old city is fenced from all four sides by high wall. The sacred and holy places are found in it. It is considered a holy place by Jews as it is equally regarded by Muslims. Currently this city is occupied by the extorter Israel. The Israeli government claims it as Allah has blessed Bayt al-Maqdis with many peculiar and unique things. This is third holy city for Muslims following Mecca and Medina. It is the first Qibla of Muslims as the Prophet Muhammad saws, and the companions directed their faces towards it in their prayers for approximately 16 months. The Quran describes that event in the following words: "Glorious is he who made his servant travel by night from al-Masjid al-Haram to al-Masjid al-Aqsa, whose environs we have blessed, so that we let him see some of our signs. Surely he is the all-hearing, the all-seeing. Bani Israel, O1 al-Fat, al-Masjid al-Aqsa, Laqsa Mosque. Al-Masjid al-Aqsa is called also al-Haram al-Qudusi al-Sharif by the Palestinian people. It should be made clear that when al-Masjid al-Aqsa is said, it means the whole Haram Qudusi, which is surrounded by establishing the wall. There are different buildings inside. There are different opinions and views regarding the foundation and the construction of al-Masjid al-Aqsa. But the view which matches the prophetic narration is that Adam alayhis salam, the first man, founded it after 40 years he had founded al-Masjid al-Haram as the renewal of the construction. Allama ibn Hajar Asqalani 1372-1448 says, "The person who founded al-Masjid al-Aqsa is Adam as." While some people are of the opinion that it was the angels, some people say it was Sam bin Nu as, and some people are of the view that it was Yaqub as. Following the discussion on the topic, anyway, before the arrival of Islam, Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon Iraq, attacked the Bayt al-Maqdis and demolished its buildings. When Roman general Titus attacked it, he also destroyed it. The Roman king, Hadrian, after attacking it, sent its citizens in exile. Due to these attacks, this ci. According to the condition of the citizens, Amir al-Mu'minin Umar Ra arrived at the time of conquering Bayt al-Maqdis. Due to the negligence and disrespect of the rulers and the clergymen, the whole places were deserted and the dirt was thrown at the holy rock. Umar Ra commanded to clean it. In the regime of Umayyad Caliphate, when the center of Caliphate was in Syria, Bayt al-Maqdis had special importance. Walid bin Abdul Malik, the Umayyad Caliph, reconstructed al-Masjid al-Aqsa. The construction was at the place where Umar Ra had built, and his mosque had come under the new construct. Following the first Crusades, when the Christians occupied the Bayt al-Maqdis on the 15th of July 1099, they made a big change in al-Masjid al-Aqsa. When Salahuddin Ayyubi conquered it in 533 AH 1187 AC, he purified it from the rubbish of the Christians. With the exception of only 88 years from the regime conquest of Bayt al-Maqdis and Umar bin Khattab Ra. At the time of invasion on Syria, Abu Bakr Siddiq Ra has appointed separate officers for each province. Umar bin al-As Ra was selected as the officer of Palestine, who later became the conqueror of Egypt and was appointed as its governor. But they avoided from any treaty. At the same time, Following the conquest of extreme districts Kansurine, etc., of Syria, Abu Ubaidah moved to Beit al-Maqdis to assist Amr bin Allah's Ra. Then the Christians requested for the treaty, but with the condition that Muslims Caliph himself should go. The Caliph Amr Ra called a meeting of the companions and presented the situation mentioned in the letter among them. Positive and negative both types of opinions were offered. The Caliph preferred to go. He made Usman Ra his deputy in Medina and left for Beit al-Maqdis riding on his horse in. The officers of Islamic army were informed to come to Jabiya to welcome Amir al-Mu'minin, the leader of the believers. According to the instruction, Yazid bin Abu Sufyan Ra, Khalid bin Walid Ra, etc., welcomed him in Jabiya. In the course of stay in Jabiya, a group of the chiefs of Beit al-Maqdi, following the agreement, Amir al-Mu'minin, left for Beit al-Maqdis. Close to Beit al-Maqdis, Abu Ubaidah Ra and the chiefs of army were present to welcome him. The Muslims were feeling ashamed due to the ordinary dress and equipment of Amir al-Mu'minin that what Christians would think after looking at Al-Quds and Al-Aqsa under the occupation of Christians. After the agreement of Treaty of Beit al-Maqdis in 1637 by Amr Ra, it remained under the control of Muslims rulers for centuries. They made it the symbol of peace, but unfortunately, in the First Crusades in 1099, the European Christian, Salahuddin Ayyubi, the founder of Ayyubi Sultanate, Salahuddin Yusuf 1137–1193, son of Najmuddin Ayyub, who is popularly known as Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi, was born in 53 to =1137 in Tikrit in Iraq. His father and uncle, Asaduddin Sherko, were chief officers in political and administrative affairs. Ayyubi was brought up in Damascus. He learnt Islamic knowledge in the very city. He got expertise in soldiering and archery. Most of the members of his family were on the high posts. He got political insight from his father, whereas he learnt expertise of defeating the enemies in the battleground. Following the conquest of Egypt, Ayyubi was made its ruler in 564 He was Allah-fearing man, great warrior and famous conqueror. He is one of the well-known conquerors and rulers in the world history. His intelligence, sharpness, good policy and full understanding of the affairs made the Egyptian. Ayyubi passed away when he was 55 years old on the 4th of March 1193 in Damascus, the capital city of Syria. He was buried near by the Umayyad Masjid in Damascus. His crown installation took place in 1174 as the Sultan in Cairo, the current capital city of Egypt. He served as Sultan almost 19 years. Extra. Conquest of Al-Masjid al-Aqsa. The biggest desire of Salahuddin Ayyubi was to conquer Beit al-Maqdis and Al-Masjid al-Aqsa. The Almighty Allah fulfilled his desire, and they were conquered under his leadership. The conquest of Beit al-Maqdis is considered one of his great heroic deeds in Islam, in 1186, in an invasion of Christians, Ronald along with other Christians invaded Hejaz intending to attack Medina. Ayyubi reacted to stop their action. He used combustible matter to stop the army of enemy, which causes rage of fire on the ground. So, the war began in 1187 at a place called Hutton. Following the conquest of Hutton, Ayyubi headed to Beit al-Maqdis and al-Masjid al-Aqsa to fulfill his old desire. The war continued for a week. Then the Christians who had occupied Beit al-Maqdis laid down their arms and pleaded for mercy. The Christian rule didn't last long. Without any bloodshed, he freed Beit al-Maqdis from the Christians on 27th Rajab 530, equals the 12th of October 1187. After 88 years, again Beit al-Maqdis and al-Masjid al-Aqsa were under the rule of the Muslims. Salahuddin entered Beit al-Maqdis as an ideal conqueror. Entering al-Masjid al-Aqsa, he himself placed the pulpit made by Nuruddin Zanji in al-Aqsa. The Muslims bathed al-Aqsa with water and rose water. Ayyubi removed those changes which were made in the Christians' regime, and al-Masjid al-Aqsa turned to its original shape. With the conquest of Beit al-Maqdis, the Christian regime established in 1099 came to an end. Palestine became the part of Ayyubi Sultanate. Once again, the chanting of Allahu Akbar was heard everywhere in Beit al-Maqdis. T is a noteworthy point that Salahuddin didn't commit those cruelties and tyrannies after entering Beit al-Maqdis, which were committed by the Christian armies at the time of occupying that city on the 15th of July 1099. Rather, Ayyubi provided protection and safety to each Christian for ransom. Those who failed to pay ransom, he himself and his brother Malik Adil paid ransom on their behalf. Thanks to his human loving, bravery, generosity, politeness, justice, forgiveness, good character, and humbleness, not only among the Muslims, but also among the non-Muslims, he was